So hi everybody, my name is Kim Free and I am the owner and CEO of STGP, Small Town Girl Promotions. And today we are talking about what makes people buy on social media. Because, creating that content is a lot of work. It's a bit of a pain, to be honest. And so we want to make sure that it's worth our time and money. So if we haven't met before, my name is Kim Free and I am a social media expert. I have a bachelor's in psychology and sociology and an education degree as well. So I love to think about what people, what makes people push that like button, that's psychologically. And I love teaching. So this is a perfect little role for me that I've found myself. So before we get started and get all into it, I have a couple questions. And if you're watching live, I would love to see your answers in the chat. If you're seeing this on YouTube or on social media streams, please answer in the comments below, absolutely. So first question, where are you at with social media for your business? So tell me one thing specifically that you're struggling with. We're here to support one another. We all struggle with social media. I struggle with social media most days. So what are you most struggling with right now? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how frustrated are you today with social media, and totally understanding that it can absolutely vary from day to day? So what one thing are you struggling with? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how frustrated are you? Me, most days I'm a 2 or a 3, but there's times when Facebook changes something and I'm at a 10. Depends on the moment. So thanks for putting those answers in the chat. Awesome. So a little bit of an introduction here. Marketing versus advertising. So advertising is getting the word out about your business. Marketing, if you have a true marketing plan for your business, it will include pricing, the quality of your product and service, a funnel, retargeting, a customer retention strategy, networking, branding, so many things. Marketing is very big. So today we are focusing on one piece. It's just one piece of that marketing plan, which is social media. And if it was easy, we would all be rich. If all you had to do was post a few times on Facebook, post a few times on Instagram, have a website, and that's about it, then we would all be rich. If it was that easy, if it was just about putting a couple posts out there and calling her good, we would all be rich. So it is complicated, it's multifaceted, and it requires work. So I hope you leave today with a handful of strategies that you can implement right away. I hope, and it's my purpose today to give you value so that you walk away from this saying, oh, I'm so glad I attended today or watched the recording or whatever have you, and I know what I'm going to do next. So please have your to-do list out so that when you get those ideas, you can write them down and you can say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and make a plan. And lastly, don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. So you might have a business best friend, you might have a business coach. My favorite business coach is Michelle Andershak, if you haven't met her. You might have even a spouse that you can bounce ideas off of, or you can hire people to help you with some of these pieces, absolutely. So before we continue, I do value honesty and transparency. So I will be mentioning my paid course at the end of this presentation. It's not one of those webinars where they go on and on and on and try to sell you something. No, I'm just going to mention it for like 1 minute and that's it. 1 minute out of the hour and a half. I think that's fair. All right, moving on. So I'm going to start, this is kind of a backwards place to start, but I'm going to talk about Facebook events. And the reason I want to talk about Facebook events is, number one, they are highly preferred by the Facebook algorithm right now. And so if you're creating Facebook events under the umbrella of your Facebook business page, that can be very valuable for your business. The Facebook algorithm, meaning like the math and science that decides who sees which Facebook posts in what order, the Facebook algorithm is preferring Facebook events. So if you're making these events, People will see them. It's one easy way to get word out about your business and do some other things that I'll get into right away here. So number one, setting up your event for success. You want to make sure that you have a solid banner image that attracts people, right? So something that has some emotion attached to it. I like this one right here. It's a bit cut off in the screenshot, but it has my smiling face and I look excited. I have some emotion behind that, so that will capture people's attention. There's a reason that selfies are so popular, right? Make sure that your title is clear and it explains what exactly it is. And make sure you write an about section to give even more information about what it is. There's different types of events. So I feel, it's my opinion, that any business can create Facebook events, whether you sell products or services, whether you're online or in person. You can, if you're creative enough, you can discover a Facebook event that works for your business. So some types. You can have a sale event, straight up sale, on sale now, special price, that kind of event, and it can last for a week or so, and you could create that event right on Facebook. You could do a training course or a workshop or an online teaching, even if you sell products. So for example, if you sell candles, you could create a training course, a mini training course explaining how to make your own candle. By the way, if you're afraid that people will just watch the training and then make their own candles and not buy candles from you, probably not. People love to learn, but most times they don't execute what they've learned. So you're totally safe there. And by attending that workshop, learning how to make the candle, they will discover how difficult of a process it is. And then they'll be like, forget this, I'll just buy one from you. Because then they have built up that know, like, and trust with you, which we'll talk about later. You could have a customer appreciation event. So this could be based around the anniversary of your business, or it could just be kind of random. A customer appreciation event is fantastic. You could have an online or in-person market. So if you have a brick and mortar business, you could have a pop-up market. Partner with another business and have them sell their goods in your space, as long as those goods are somewhat related to your business, so that it makes sense, right? It could be an online market of your products, and you could invite a couple other vendors to partake in that, to help spread the word and increase your circle of influence. You could have a clothing rack sale right inside of your store. You could do an online baking or cooking workshop related somehow to your business. You might have to think creatively on that one. You could have a panel discussion. So especially if you're a service industry, you could have a panel of experts and have a few of them all give their opinion on a certain topic. So those are just a few ideas, but if you put your creative thinking hat on, I'm sure you can think of something to do for your business that makes sense. So number 3, Eventbrite and MailChimp. So Facebook doesn't play well with very many people. When you create a Facebook post and you have an external link with it, the Facebook algorithm doesn't like that, because it's taking people off of Facebook. But Facebook plays well with Eventbrite. Facebook and Eventbrite are friends. And so if you create your event on Eventbrite, it's free to set up an account. If it's a paid event, they will collect the money for you, so that's perfect. If it's a free event, you can totally still set up your event on Eventbrite, just like I did for this event, this class that I'm teaching. And then Eventbrite allows you to collect emails, because especially if you're sending them a Zoom link to tune in, they need that Zoom link, right? And so you can collect those emails and you can follow up with them. If you connect your Eventbrite to your MailChimp, you can also create email lists, and just be careful that you get people's permission to email them through MailChimp. Let's follow the rules, right? Number 4, once you have your your Facebook event set up, you have the beautiful banner image, you have a nice clear title, you have something in the about section, you set it up through Eventbrite possibly, then now it's time to start inviting your friends. So click that invite button, invite as many friends as makes sense. Only invite those people that you think would actually be interested. Don't invite your whole friends list because that's getting spammy and we don't like spammers. But also reach out to your friends who are solid like cheerleaders of your business and ask them to invite their friends. So now you're expanding your circle of influence even more. Once people start clicking that interested or going button on the Facebook event, then they will get all of the notifications when you post inside of the event. So once you've invited your friends and your friends' friends, number 5, start sharing your event to some other places on social media. So to other Facebook groups where your target audience is hanging out, to your Facebook business page, to stories. You can take a screenshot and share it over onto Instagram. You can put it on your website, lots of options. Consider adding an ad budget and use a Facebook ad to spread the word even more. And then once people, especially once people start clicking going and interested, you want to start posting in the event so that they get reminders that, oh yeah, they were interested. Oh yeah, they clicked interested or going to this event. And then, just like I did for many of you, reach out to them and say, hey, I saw that you were interested in this event. I just wanted to remind you that it's coming up right away. Don't forget to grab your ticket. You want to start this process about 2 to 3 months before the event happens, because it does take that long to get awareness. People have to move through awareness and contemplation and then to purchase, even if it's a free event. All right, so those are Facebook events, and we'll talk more about that. I'll refer back to this later. Reach versus engagement. Whew. So social media is generally an awareness, or in other words, a reach advertising tool. The purpose, most of the purpose of social media is to let people know that you exist and what you're offering, right? So awareness comes from reach. So reach, according to the Facebook insights, Instagram insights, even Twitter insights and data statistics, reach means people seeing your posts, people seeing your ads, people seeing your stories, any of your content. So reach means that it was seen by some eyeballs. If we're talking about sales, sales come from engagement, right? So a conversation usually has to start in order to lead to a sale. Not always. Like sometimes people just see an ad and they're like, yep, I'll buy that. Click, add to cart, done. But most of the time, and especially for higher ticket items, a conversation of some kind has to exist before that sale comes. So how do you move from reach, which is awareness, to engagement to increase your sales? That's a big question. And again, if it was easy, we would all be rich. So increasing engagement is what we want to do. So instead of just people seeing our content on social media, we want them to click the like button. We want them to comment underneath. We want them to start to have questions to us, for us, have conversations with us, and send private messages to our social media channels. So some quick ways of increasing engagement: have more conversations. Again, I'm referring to my favorite business coach, Michelle Andershak. She once told someone, wake up each morning and decide that you're going to have 3 conversations with 3 different people. Who are you going to have conversations with? So you can have those conversations on social media, absolutely. So you can start up conversations with people who have commented on your posts. It's a whole other story. This would be a whole other presentation about how to get people to comment on your posts in the first place. So that's more about creating quality content. And I do have video trainings on that. You can check my YouTube channel for that one. So have more conversations on social media and off. So take those comments on your posts and turn them into private conversations, or reach out to somebody off of social media. So get involved with networking groups, join your local chamber of commerce, hang out in Facebook groups where your most valuable client is hanging out, right? And if they're asking questions and you know the answers to those questions, help them, give value, help them out, and elevate yourself as the expert. Next, do more live or pre-recorded videos. Yes, you've heard it before, and yes, it can be scary, but the fastest way to move people through the know, like, and trust cycle is to engage with them through videos, because videos are so much deeper, right? You can hear my voice, you can see my body language, you can see my smile, you can look into my eyes. And so if people can experience you, especially if you're the face of your business, if they can experience you in full video quality, they will move through that know, like, and trust process more quickly. So know, like, and trust just means people need to know about your business, people need to like you at least a little bit, and people need to trust you and your business brand in order to make a sale. So to get people to trust you more quickly, you can do it in other ways, absolutely. But doing video content speeds that process up. Next, reply to comments, reply to private messages and direct messages. Get those conversations going. That increases engagement, absolutely. So next one is start conversations in groups, in private messages, direct messages, and networking, which I kind of talked about already. It's kind of a repeat. But going back to do more live videos, pre-recorded videos, this goes back to the Facebook event that I talked about. So if you can do a Facebook event where you are presenting or speaking or teaching or any of the things, that will move people through the know, like, and trust, right? It's all connected. So more about this know, like, and trust thing, a few tips around that. So in your social media content, be authentic, meaning like know who you are and be who you are. Don't try to be other people. You are awesome the way you are. And this isn't just applying to live videos or that kind of thing, but even in your posts that are pictures of things, be authentic to who your business is and what values your business has. Share bits of yourself in your content if you can, because if you share bits of yourself in your content, you will be more knowable and more likable, right? So that helps people move through the know, like, and trust. Have some personality. Don't be afraid to show your personality. It will draw people in. Humans crave connection. So if they can find a reason to connect with somebody else, then they will like them more and know them more and trust them more. Allow people to know you and like you. So when you're creating your content, think about that. Is this content going to allow people to know me and to like me, or to know my brand and to like my brand? Next, be consistent with branding and consistent messaging. This builds trust. So your social media posts should be consistent with branding. What does that mean? That means you should have chosen colors and fonts, and even your voice. So the way that you phrase your captions and the writing that goes along with your posts, it should be consistent. So you can see even in this PowerPoint presentation that I have specific colors, specific fonts, and it's consistent. Marketing research says that consistent branding builds trust. And of course, trust leads to sales. Consistent messaging. So you've probably heard that creating posts and being consistent with your social media, so not, posting 5 times in a week and then going, missing in action for a couple weeks and then coming back on, but being consistent, creating content consistently across your social media channels, this builds trust too. Because if you aren't being consistent and you have those followers, they're like, oh, is she still doing that? Is that still a business that's happening? And then you go away for a while and there's no content and it's like, oh, right, I guess she didn't quit. And so that starts to erode the trust that your potential clients have in you. So be consistent with your branding, be consistent with getting your content out there. I know it's hard, I know. Next, do more video. Like I said before, it's the fastest way to build trust. So if you're nervous about doing the live videos, you could even have your voice. So you could pre-record your voice and then put that to a stock video, and that can be a beautiful, beautiful thing as well. And consider other evaluation tools. People know you, so they know about your business. They have to decide if they like you or not. So you need to give them a chance to evaluate you and decide if they like and trust you. And we'll get more into that. So here we go, moving through know, like, and trust. There's some marketing terms here for you. So know is the same as awareness. Like is like the evaluation phase, and trust is the sales phase, essentially. So awareness phase, evaluation phase, and sales phase. In the awareness phase, this is what's happening in the awareness phase. And awareness phase basically means people are finding out that you exist, right? That your business exists. So how does that happen? People see your social media content. People hear about your business from their friends. People see your sign on your building as they drive by. People see your newspaper advertisement. People hear your radio ad. This is advertising. Awareness is advertising. So posters on the wall, yeah, all of that is the awareness phase. They know that you exist. They know the name of your business. They know a little bit about what you are offering, and that's about it. In the evaluation phase, people are using your freebies, such as checklists, quizzes, ebooks, that kind of thing. They're engaging with you via your Instagram stories. So they're clicking those buttons. They're starting to have some sort of action. This is passive. Awareness is passive for the most part. They're just seeing your posts as they scroll by their smartphones, right? Evaluation is more action. So they're using your checklist, they're doing a quiz that you've offered online, they're reading your ebook, they're clicking that button on your Instagram stories. They're starting to have conversations with you over Messenger, email, phone, whatever it is. They're viewing your website, so they're clicking through your website, which is an action, and they're watching your videos on your website, on YouTube, on social media. And by the way, they're probably also commenting on those videos or liking those videos. Okay, so that's the evaluation phase. And then the sales phase happens. And you can't skip these. By the way, you can't go from 0 to sales most times. An example of going from 0 to sales is when you get that personal Facebook Messenger message from Sally that you went to high school with, and Sally says, "Hey Kim, I know it's been a while, but I just wanted to reach out and let you know that I'm really excited about this new product that I have. If you haven't tried it yet, like I'd love for you to sign up and, you know, try this new diet pill or whatever the heck it is, or the shampoo or Tupperware. Let me know, right?" And I'm like, okay, I barely know you. I wasn't even aware that you're selling this product. I don't even know what it is. I don't like you. You're an old high school acquaintance, and we don't have any, you know, we don't have any money in the bank. We don't have any relationship. And so for you to reach out and just say, buy my stuff, it feels super slimy. And that's where slimy sales that, like, to me, that's the definition of slimy sales, and I will like block that person. Oh dear. Let me know in the comments if you've done that before. If somebody has reached out to you like that and you have, it's left you with a slimy feeling, or you've blocked them. Woo. So let's make sure that we establish awareness, we give them a chance to like us, and then we can move through to the sales phase. So the sales phase includes things like a website checkout, written proposals and contracts signed, conversations to close the sale, picking an item off a physical shelf, friendly customer service. All of that stuff is the sales phase. And that only comes after know, like, and trust most times. So these are, there's 3 of them, I think. Yep. So these are the places where social media happens, right? People see your social media content, engage with you via Instagram stories. They're watching your videos on social media. So you can see the other things that also need to happen to support your social media strategy in order to create sales. Again, like I said at the beginning, someone just hopping on to Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Pinterest and just creating a few posts or tweets or pins and thinking that that's going to automatically generate sales, I'm sorry, there's more to it than that. Otherwise, we would all be rich. So I hope with this list, because I want you to come away from today with some actionable tools, not just to be overwhelmed. I hope you're not overwhelmed. I hope from this list you can see some other things that you can do to support your target audience from moving from awareness through to sales, right? Write them on your to-do list. This is from Business to You, businesstoyou.com. And so this is even more, these are even more phases. So there's even more to this than what I said on the last slide. Here is social media. You know, it's in the awareness/interest zone. But these are some other things that you should be doing to support your marketing strategy. Okay, now here are some tips and tricks. So number 1, well, this is a whole thing. People need to see your stuff a minimum of 7 times before they even know that you exist. So if you have been posting on your social media, Facebook page, Instagram account, you know, and you've created 5 posts in the month, keep going, because people might have seen your posts, but they don't really know that you exist or what your business is about. So awareness, this rule of 7 in marketing means exactly that. People need to see your stuff at least 7 times to even know that you exist and to start to move through that know, like, and trust. Follow up with leads. So I have a bit of a story around this. Let me find my notes. Oh yes. So a social media client reached out and she said, Kim, this isn't working. We are not, it was a nonprofit, and so they were wanting to get volunteers to sign up. And she said, we are not getting volunteers to sign up. So she could have just as easily said, if she was a business, she could have just as easily said, we're not getting sales, right? A volunteer signing up is the equivalent to a sale when you're a nonprofit looking for volunteers. She said, it's not working. We've been doing this for like 3 months. It's not working. We're not getting volunteers. And I said, okay, let me take a look into that. So I went onto her Facebook page. I delved into a little bit deeper, and I saw that one of the other people in her organization had shared the Facebook page post from her Facebook page into a local Facebook group. And on that post, people were asking questions. So the post was all about, you know, this is why you should volunteer, la, 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 giving back to the community, all the things. And somebody said, they asked a specific question. I can't remember offhand what, but they asked a specific question. And then somebody else said, I'm interested. Where do I sign up? And then somebody else said something else. I found 8 people who were interested in a volunteer recruiting Facebook event. and 3 people who had commented on a post. So in essence, that was 11 leads that this nonprofit had that they didn't know about. They didn't know that people were reaching out, asking questions, saying they were interested, and nobody was replying to them. So I got back to this client. I said, hey, these are 11 leads for you, some possible volunteers that want to volunteer for your organization. Please follow up with them. I hope she did. I hope some of those turned into volunteers. So that's just a brief story to let you know, I guess, that leads can come from social media, but you have to turn them into conversations, right? It's not just a post and ghost situation where I love that phrase, post and ghost. You can't just post and then just not do anything about it. You need to follow up with the conversations, and conversations are what lead to the sales. So a tip I have is to keep a leads list. So on a spreadsheet on your computer or in a notepad in your book, write down the name of the person and where they are coming from. So if someone commented on your Instagram post, write down Kim Free, Instagram post, and maybe the date so you can find it. And follow up with that person, reply to the comment, turn it into a direct message. If someone phones you, write it down, because for myself, I have a hard time keeping track of all the things. And just like my example about the nonprofit organization, if you have 11 people, you want to make sure that you don't forget about 5 of them. You want to follow up and follow up and follow up and make sure they have all of their questions answered. Balance of posts. So something that I see a lot of businesses do way too often is to sell on social media. So their posts are like, this is my product, please buy it. This is my service, please buy it. And people don't love seeing ads. They don't. There's a reason why Netflix is so popular. There's a reason why everybody fast forwards through the YouTube commercials, right? So I like to talk about this 3-to-1 rule, which basically means out of every 4 posts, 3 of them should be giving to your audience and 1 of them can be asking for the sale. Because yes, you're still a business. We want to ask for the sale, but we want it to be balanced so that we don't drive our potential customers away. We want to give them a reason to follow us on our social media feeds. So share, don't sell. Share a story, share some wisdom, share some tips, share something funny. Don't sell, because you need to move people through that know and like phase before you get to the selling, or else it's just going to feel slimy. People are going to go to your Instagram feed and look at it and say, oh, selling. No, possibly. So to create that balance of posts, you can create posts that educate, inspire, they create a conversation. You can share a piece of yourself, all of these things. I have this handy infographic that I will email to you. When I send out this recording, if you're watching this live, I'll email this to you. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put a link below the YouTube video on how you can get this infographic. People have been printing them and putting them up in their offices, and it's a handy little tool to think of different types of content so that it's not always sales. Excuse me. Next up, getting results from paid ads. Yes, sometimes it's very profitable, very successful to spend a bit of money on Facebook ads to move people to that sale. So have a plan. The first step of creating an ad on Facebook or Instagram or the radio or YouTube or wherever is to have a plan. What do you want people to think and feel when they see your ad? What do you want them to do when they see your ad? Do you want them to click the ad and go to your website? Do you want them to click and leave their email address so you can follow up with them? Do you want them to comment so you can start a conversation? What is it? Do you want them just to watch the video? Is it like in the awareness phase and you just want them to watch your video and get to know you better, right? So have a plan. Consider using retargeting tactics. Facebook ads, I know there was the recent iOS 14 update, but Facebook is still very strong at retargeting, which means retargeting is a fancy word. It means people go to your website, the Facebook pixel collects the information about who is visiting your website, and then you can use that information to send them ads. To say, you could even say, hey, I saw you visited my website. Try again, come back. Yeah, that's the thing. When you're creating paid ads, measure your success and make adjustments. This applies across the board. So this applies for organic, unpaid content or paid advertising. You always want to be paying attention as to what is being successful for you and what isn't. Do more of what's successful and less of what's not successful. Wonderful thing about Facebook ads is that you can do things like an A/B split test, which is basically you create one ad, but then you change one variable so that, for example, this ad could be a different picture than this one. Everything else is the same, but they're two different photos. So you're discovering which photo is resonating best with your audience. And then that will inform the advertising you do down the road. Of course, you can hire an expert to do all of this for you because it can be overwhelming when you're also running your business. Next up, don't put all of your eggs in one basket. So as we saw in the previous slides, there are other ways. There should be some other things on your marketing plan, right? Marketing is a big thing. Social media advertising is one piece of that puzzle. So also consider, definitely because it's free, make sure to set up your Google My Business account so people can find you on Google. Google is the #1 visited website in the world. So Google My Business would be a great thing. Google ads can be very effective and they can be affordable if they're done right. A well-developed website, I like this analogy. Social media is a tool that you rent. Your website and your email addresses, if you're gathering emails for an email marketing campaign, those are resources that you own, right? So social media, so for example, the Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTube algorithms, those are always changing and it's out of your control. It's just like the landlord changing the rent, increasing the rent, right? All of a sudden, I have to do reels on Instagram. Are you kidding me? Well, the landlord just changed the rent. And so social media is a tool that you rent. Your website and your email marketing, your email list, those are tools, online tools that you own. You are in charge. Networking is a thing that can help your business for sure. All of this depends, what you choose depends on your target audience. So for example, males are more likely to visit Google when they're shopping than females. So if your audience is primarily male, then you might want to invest in Google ads. Twitter is more dominated by males. Instagram is more dominated by females, right? All of that matters, and age demographics as well. Networking, yep. So local networking groups like join a BNI group or join your Chamber of Commerce. There's lots of them out there if you just look. A referral program. So if you create a referral program for your business, that can be super helpful, or even an informal referral program that you thank people for referring people your way, or you reach out to, that business cheerleader that you have, those one or two people that are like, I love your business. I will always share your posts. I will always like your posts. Reach out to them and say, hey, I was just thinking I could really make some more sales. Do you know anybody? Can we brainstorm for a minute? And then have them reach out to their people and say, hey, I was just thinking about you, wanted to let you know about my friend's business, right? That could be cool. A customer retention plan, that could be a thing too. There's so much more. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You're not alone. So most of these things that I've learned online through trial and error. I've been helping small business owners advertise their business, spread the word about their business online and on social media for over 10 years. But I've done it all through stuff like this: taking a class, watching YouTube videos, finding a mentor, getting training. You can purchase templates. So if you struggle with creating images to put on your social media feeds, you can purchase graphic design templates and then just add little bits, right? We offer that service, by the way. You can purchase caption vaults. So if you struggle with the writing side of it, you could absolutely purchase some pre-written captions. You just make a couple edits and make it your own. That's a good thing. Or you can hire an expert to take whatever piece of it that you're struggling with, take it off your plate. So I told you that I would be talking about my training program a little bit. So this is it. So my social media manager training from basics to buzzing, it's a 24-hour online live class. There's instructional time, time to practice, get feedback. We focus on Facebook and Instagram for business, but we also dive into all the other social media platforms. And a lot of the strategies and theories that I talk about apply across the board. We get into graphic design, copywriting, marketing strategy, ad creation, video editing, hashtags, algorithms, so much more. Could talk about this stuff forever. Well, 24 hours at least. There are 18 different modules. This course meets the requirements for the Canada Alberta Job Grant, which can reimburse the business owner 2/3 of the cost. So the investment is $13.99 Canadian. And with the Canada Alberta Job Grant, if you're in Alberta, it can reduce it down to $466 plus GST. And I have payment plans available. That's it for now. Thanks so much for watching.